Hi everyone. Welcome to the Made Smarter webinar on enabling remote collaboration with technology. My name's Claire Scott, and I am one of the digital technology advisors with Made Smarter. My background is in additive manufacturing and engineering simulation, and I help SMEs identify if and when they should adopt digital technology. So a little bit about Made Smarter. We're here to help the makers and creators keep their competitive edge by implementing digital tools that will help them make an everyday difference to their business. Now, SMEs today are already utilizing some of this technology, such as data analysis, to gain deeper and richer insights into their business from both the production line as well as back office operations. They can also bring products to market faster through technologies such as additive manufacturing. But what happens if you're unable to visit your customers or your factory? So today we want to have a look at some of the technology that can help you enable remote collaboration. And it's important to note that technology is a tool, and it's only as good as the person who uses it and the culture that person is in. So we need to focus on the business culture, and there are other webinars available through Made Smarter that will give you deeper insight. I would suggest that you check them out. So let's have a look at what we're going to cover here. So we're going to have a look at the required infrastructure. You know, what do we need for access, and what hardware we're going to need. We're also going to have a look at what cloud-based software is out there, from both office-based applications to engineering applications. We're also going to look at ways of how you can connect your team, your supply chain, and importantly, your customers. So let's have a look at access infrastructure here. So what we have is you have access to the internet, hopefully. If you don't have access to the internet, how are you actually watching this webinar? But how do you access the internet is the question. So not all connections are made equal. There are various methods that you can use to connect to the internet, and you want to ensure that you have enough bandwidth and that you have the speed to manage the data that you're going to be uploading and downloading. And to help visualize that, your broadband or your internet connection could be thought of as a highway, as pictured here. So your broadband speed is the speed limit for that motorway. Now, if your download speed is greater than your upload speed, obviously you're going to be able to download a lot more information faster, but then when you're passing information both ways, it's going to be a lot slower. So that's going to be a little bit of a challenge. So ensure that your upload and your download speed are equal if possible, and if not, make sure that your upload speed is sufficient to handle the amount of data that you're passing through it. So to avoid confusion when we're talking about speed, we've got here 1 byte, which is a bit of information, which is a unit of information, equals 8 bits. So broadband's talked about in bits per second, not bytes per second. So when we talk about a 1 gigabit connection speed, we're actually talking about being able to transfer a file size of 125 megabytes per second. Now, that is that 1 gigabit per second is usually talked about in landline broadband speeds, but we can also use our mobile phones to connect to the internet and tether them to our laptops to enable our laptops to connect to the internet. So you've got the mobile computing and those speeds as well. So today, 4G, those speeds are usually up to around about 100 megabits per second. But we've recently rolled out 5G in certain areas of the UK, and that theoretically could manage speeds of up to 2 gigabits per second. Now that's a theoretical speed. It's always up to, unfortunately, but you just need to make sure that you have enough speed to be able to handle the amount of data. You then have also hotspots, you know, popular at cafes, which we can't visit anymore, but for the time being. But with hotspots, it is always recommended that if you're carrying out business transactions, don't even go anywhere near them. You'll need to worry about cybersecurity, and I would recommend staying far away from them. So let's have a look at the hardware that we're going to be needing to use. There is a lot of options out there now for people. So in the picture there, we've got the desktop, we've got the phone, we've even got wearables such as smartwatches, and we've got a trusty laptop. So let's have a look at each one. So laptops, they're good for less intensive tasks. So if you need to take the office with you, you can do that. If you're in the engineering field and you need to do a lot of analysis, there are laptops available for you to do heavy-duty engineering tasks, but they can be bulky, heavy, and expensive. So if you do need to do a lot, either look at a desktop, or if you need to be on the go, then look at a remote connection to an engineering server, which has a lot more processing power. We've got tablets. These are good for interaction. So if you need to be on the go and interact with your customer, you know, face to face, they can be used. If you need something lightweight that doesn't take up a lot of space, a tablet might also be a good option for you. Looking at phablets, now a phablet is actually a mix of a phone and a tablet, so it's somewhere in between. Examples of these are usually the Samsung Galaxy Note series, as you know, anything with a large mobile phone screen approaching a tablet size. It's good for an all-in-one solution. You can also then connect it up to monitors, especially the latest models, and actually have computer on the go that fits into the size of your pocket. Great if you don't want to carry it, if you want to travel lightly. If you need to capture data on the go, great. And that's the same with mobile phones. Capturing data on the go is great with phones, and then having that report back to the office. Last but not least, the good desktop. In an engineering space, these can be really, really powerful. They can be upgraded, and you know, if you have to go into, you know, if you have to stay in one place, desktop's what you need, and if you need power. So, and finally, as I touched on, looking at a server, which lots of computers together is great for high performance computing. And if you need to do high powered engineering analysis, you can set up your analysis using a laptop and then send it through to a high performance computer to solve. So that's looking at the hardware, but how do we connect with your team? And how do you connect with your team, sorry? So we can look at video conferencing. So examples, Skype for business, we've got WebEx, there are Zoom. There's quite a few examples coming out now. and we're all getting used to using video conferencing. It's good to having a face-to-face discussion, but what if you need to manage workflow and manage the actual team? Well, you can use something like Trello or Stack or Slack, sorry, MS Planner. These are all examples of visual workflow management. As you can see on my screen there, you've got a to-do, doing, and done list, as well as all the other goals that the team needs to meet in a nice visual way. It's great for working remotely and trying to collaborate. But again, remembering what we discussed or what I mentioned earlier with regards to business culture, you need a strong agile culture in order to get the full value from some of these tools. So if you're utilizing an agile methodology such as Scrum, Trello and Planner are nice tools to help make that better. So what about remote office team management? So you've got the workflow being managed by Trello and others. You've then got Microsoft Teams, which again enables video conferencing. It'll also plug into SharePoint so you can access your files. And it's a bit of an all-in-one solution. You've also then got Google Documents, which again you can edit and create documents on the go. And the same then for Microsoft 365. So, but these are all well and good, but as I say at the bottom there, what happens if you design or manufacture products? A spreadsheet is good, and our Word document is good, but it doesn't tell you the full picture. So if you're working in the engineering sphere, you can utilize technologies such as augmented reality. So we've got an example there. This is PTC Vuforia Chalk, which enables a remote an expert to work remotely and actually communicate with frontline workers. If, for example, a piece of machinery has gone down, the expert can communicate, they can actually point and draw to where they think the problem is, allowing the frontline worker to go ahead and fix it. Great for trying to maintain social distancing. You've then got online collaboration tools for computer-aided design, such as Fusion 360, and there's quite a few other selections here through SolidWorks, Solid Edge, and the like. And this will enable your clients and your supply chain to actually see what product you've designed and actually suggest improvements. And you can have this live, so you can make changes on the go. And if you want to analyze the effect of those changes using engineering simulation, you can also investigate ANSYS Discovery, which would be able to provide you with some real-time analysis if you were, for example, looking at airflow and you changed the size of the funnel. How would that affect the design? So these are all good tools for you to review to see if they can be of use to you at this time. But there are some things to consider. So make sure that you think about solutions, not products. Okay, you want to be able to have a modular approach. You don't want to start down one road and find out that you're locked in. So make sure that you think about the whole problem, not just focusing on the immediate challenge. You also need to look at licensing, so whether or not that's is it a free product? Is it a freemium product? So you only get some features for free and then you have to pay for the rest. Is it subscription? You know, is it which might work for some people? It's low cost, but you're paying every month. Or then is it the standard pay a lot up front, but it's yours for life? So look at the licensing options that are available to you. And this is all part of doing your due diligence. Really investigate, is this going to meet all of your requirements? And that's something that we can do as technology advisors through Made Smarter. We can help SMEs do their due diligence. Take advantage of any free trials that are on offer. There's quite a few at the moment that are still available for you, especially during this time. And use those free trials to really find out and try before you buy. So thank you very much for attending the webinar. I'm being Claire Scott, and please, if you want to get set for the future, get in touch. Thank you.